What is up, watch people? Welcome to another edition of I was going to say Tony's Timepiece Review. That channel is no longer around. It sucks, but that's the way it is. So if you're looking for Tony's Timepiece Review, come on over to this channel, which is Talking Timepieces with Tony. Anyway, today we're going to talk a couple of topics. Rolex ADs, buying Rolex. Some people that think Rolex are responsible for all the thefts and jackings that are going on, things like that. All right. Anyway, let's roll the intro. All right. So today I'm first and foremost wearing since we're going to be talking about Rolex again, I'm wearing my Submariner 124060, no date sub. Just love this watch. You know, it's really comfortable and obviously it's iconic. Love it. Anyway, couple things. First, I'll just talk about, you know, I try not to get into any type of controversy with any other channels or anything like that. It's not my style, really. I don't really care what other people say, but when they're just blatantly giving wrong information, it's kind of, come on, man. There's and this is going to a couple of them. For instance, there's a channel, I guess I'm not going to mention their name, but they're talking about what you need to do in order to buy a Rolex, about getting on the list. Rolex checking your bank statements, your social media, fingerprints, mugshots, putting you into a Rolex database, whatever. It's bullshit. Straight up, dude. Because if now there's another channel in England, a guy who's really well known, who brought this news, which then translated down to another channel doing a video based, I'm sure that it was based off of this other guy's channel. I think his name is Paul Thorpe. Sorry. And they did a video saying, all these things that you need. Okay, you have to dress nice. You have to pull up in a nice car. You have to, no, Now, granted, it might be that way in some other parts of the world, but I can tell you this. If you go into a Rolex dealer in Arkansas, for instance, maybe you do have to dress nice and maybe you do have to drive a nice car. Maybe that's all true. As far as the Rolex rules and regulations about checking social media, bank accounts, bank statements, what type of work you do, that's all bullshit. Because and I don't know that 100% in all parts of the world, but I would imagine that Rolex as a corporate, or not corporation, a non-profit trust conglomerate thing that they are, that would apply to every AD throughout the world, not just in one specific country or part of the world. So I don't agree with that. I don't think it's that. I live in LA. I live, things are a little bit less conservative, because you never know who's going to be walking into the AD. You don't know if that person's a celebrity, what they do, No one's going to give out their fucking bank statements, their social media to just get on this prestigious list before you can get your watch. No. So, again, also with that guy I just mentioned earlier, seems to think that why aren't Rolex doing anything when this is clear that it's an issue? People are getting robbed of their Rolex. Well, Rolex aren't in the crime prevention industry. They're in the industry and business of selling watches, pure and simple. It's not their job to, put out a database of, what watches are stolen or what. That's not your business. It's not anybody's business but Rolex. Law enforcement do their thing. Also with law enforcement, the people go, well, they're not doing anything. You don't know that, behind the scenes of everything. Just because it's not on the media doesn't mean it's not happening. People are so wrapped up in this, well, it's not in the media, that they're not doing anything. They conduct investigations and don't need to vocalize, publicize what they're doing to you. They don't owe that to you. It's just basically what it is. News is news. Granted, you want people to get caught that are doing this. It sucks that people are doing this. It's a big thing around the world right now with people getting jacked of their watches, whatever it is. All right, it's on the that stuff's on the news, but it's not Rolex's fault. And again, they're not in the crime prevention industry. They're in the business of selling watches. Simple as that. If you went out and bought a car and got carjacked, is it the manufacturer of the automobile's fault that they got carjacked? No. And is it their job to find out who sold the car and why? No. These they're in the business of selling automobiles, or in Rolex case, they're in the business of selling watches. Simple as that. Um, so I'm not trying to call people out, but I don't know. In fact, I just sent an email to my sister saying, it's not worth my time. But, then I thought, fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. So, Wiener Schnitzel, the lowest of the food chain. It's bad. And then about buying a Rolex, all those rules and regulations. Look, man, I've bought plenty of Rolex in my life, and I can tell you, and I'm pretty close with my AD. I go to Bindi Jewelers in the Glendale Galleria. My sales rep, his name is Juan, and he's fucking awesome. I have a great relationship with him. We constantly text back and forth. And, you know, there's no bullshit about anything with getting a watch. Really, what it comes down to is I know that people go in there expecting to be on this list or expecting to get a watch, and people that are rude, you'll never get a Rolex by being an asshole to the sales associate. Never. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that go in there that are genuine, that really truly want a watch. And if they're nice, okay. Juan told me specifically, it's not like so much a list as it is that, if you're really nice and you show that you're really interested in the watch, he'll do what he can to get it for you. Simple as that. Don't have to sit there, and the only time you ever have to show your ID or anything like that is just when you purchase the watch, and that's standard. You know what I mean? So there is no controversy with all of it. Just be cool to your sales rep when you go in there. This other channel had also mentioned that, go in there, make light conversation, have coffee with them. It's fucking swear. That's what that thing said. Do you think when you walk into a Rolex AD and you go, okay, let's just make small talk. Hey, by the way, do you want to have coffee with you? They don't want to have coffee with you. Maybe if you spend some money and, and you become, sort of friends or whatever with them, then you'll have coffee. But you can't just walk in off the street and go, start talking, hey, how about the Bears, or how about the Lakers? Hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. I want to be your friend. It doesn't work like that either. You have to build it genuinely, or, organically. You know what I mean? If they like you, cool. And you get along with them, cool. You know what I mean? It's just two people. Sometimes you go to a Starbucks, for instance. You might have one person who's helping you out, that's always helped you out, and you eventually build that sort of friendly thing, and then you go in, and then there's a different salesperson, and they're kind of like don't care. They just they're just there to do their job. And that's the same in any business. Some people sell watches because they have to, and they don't really like it, and they don't care about the customers because they may have had a bad day, or they don't know who you are. People have asked me, how do you get a Rolex? You know what I mean? Just be yourself. And if you're an asshole, you're more likely not going to get one. You might, or be on a longer waiting list. Go in there genuine. Hey, what's up? Enthusiastic. Simple as that. And it does help if you have a previous purchasing history. Buy something else. You know what I mean? If your end all watch is a Rolex, there's got to be other watches that you like just besides a Rolex. Buy something else. Show that make an effort is what I'm saying. So having said that, Wacko here is wearing the Omega Seamaster. Wacko. Anyone remember the Animaniacs? Come on. Best show on TV. Anyway, that's all I have to say. And I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, subscribe. I do appreciate it. And having said that, enjoy the rest of your day.